G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be Nat, this will be my Knackers Yard. It's been a busy week. Dog's had a haircut. Lady. Dog looks a little younger. Bike's together. And it's got an engine, I say together, it's got an engine in it. Now I did do like a shorts update. I can't really get the angle so you can see it. It's because I'm in the garage. It's really windy today, so I'm trying to do what I can in the garage, because otherwise the wind just destroys the sound. I've got what do you call it, a dead cat on my microphone, but there are limits. Yeah, and I know some guys are going to be annoyed that I didn't film it, but I didn't think it was going to happen. So I made my little rest. Let me set you up, and I'll dry run effectively what I did. In fact, no, I'll do it from here because this is the side I did it from. I actually did it with Blue sat the other side. Which was fucking fairly incredible. So let's just pitch you down. Should have prepped all this beforehand, that you fucking loon. Right, so for those that remember, the painted engine was under my bench. So I was digging around trying to find a crate and all of that sort of thing. I couldn't find anything, so basically this was tucked away at the back of my garage. It's an old IKEA, like a footstool thingy. It was rickety and fallen apart. So made it even more rickety and even more fall aparty. Just sliced it off to 29 centimetres, which was what I'd measured the height on the stand from the ground to the bottom frame rail. So I did that, manhandled the engine up onto that facing the right way. As far as the bars concerned, lady, wait, come on in, wait, come on, not everyone wants to say hello. So put the engine on. As far as the frame's concerned, I went for, just threw it away, the last of my bubble wrap, it's in the burner, it's a bit over, went for bubble wrap and waste pipe. I didn't go and buy this, I had this. There we go. Flowplast PP waste pipe. Okay. I can't remember what I bought that for. No idea. It was in the garage. Basically, I sliced out sections from it and put it, over the painted frame. So wrapped it around with bubble wrap to start with, so that this didn't dig into it. Put it over the frame. One on that rail, one on that rail, one on the front right, on the high side rail. I then thought, I wonder, and just spun the engine that way, because obviously you've got the dry components that are the most awkward to get through, and it, it sounds a bit trite to say, it fell in. It just slid across. Now this stuff, this waste pipe stuff, is there's not a lot of friction to it. It's quite smooth, and it just slid across. It was fucking incredible, absolutely incredible. Slid across, dropped in, bosh. Now obviously what I then had to do is put the jacket underneath, jack it up, because it's it was sat on my rails and everything. Jack it up a little bit so I could get the rails out, which is a little bit awkward, but entirely doable. And then jack it up and give it little shifts, etc., so I could get the mounting bolts on it. I'm all done bar one nut, because I've dropped it somewhere. It's in the mess. It's here, so I'm missing a bolt at the moment, and everything is finger tight, if that. Now this ridiculous design also has one of the bars going through the pegs. The pegs are minging. I haven't done anything with them. I will, but it's I'll buy new rubbers and I'll paint them up, but frankly I want to hold off on more expenditure till I see if there's any success here. So they're going on mucky, they'll come off again, they're easy. on and offable, so don't fucking rate me for it. Not that I give a shit. So one of the engine bolts goes through and through. I've just jacked it up to get it as smart as I can. Shows how little I think of these at the moment. I'm prepared to use them as a hammer. I just want to drop them through. Indoors I will go and grab in a second. Oh, actually, I'm doing this the wrong way because I need the bottom pieces first as well. I'm going to go and grab those. They're indoors and painted. I'll go and grab them. So that's the pegs in. I have put some paint on the older peg arms. Yeah. And I've got a bit of grey on the inside of it as well. It's not great, frankly, but it'll do. I have smartened up the rear pegs as well, giving them a clean, all that sort of stuff. Pegs on, engine now self-supporting. Happy. While I was doing that, I then started to look at how to mount the swing arm on, and I thought, fine, not a problem. Couldn't remember if the bolts went in from front or back. Had a look, looked in the bag, realised I'd missed the fucking mounting bolt. So at the moment that can pull off. So I'm just whip the swim arm off. I've had it on and off a few times, it's fine. I'm just going to square that away. So I'll grab the book and work out what the torque setting should be. Now I'm not entirely sure how I missed this. I know how I missed it, because I mounted it with the swing arm on, which was a bit dull, with 100% hindsight. So if you're going to be doing this or something similar, don't do that. Very bad idea. Come to think of it, actually it's probably safer this way because there's less weight. Oops, quite. Oops. Alright. I'm going to have to find a way of pinning that back. Yeah, that makes sense because there's no thread on this side. There is on the other side, so that makes sense as to how or why do that. Right, I'm going to grab the book. I'm just going to check the torque spec of that. Just going to get that right because it's a major drive component, if nothing else. Yeah, and then I might actually stick the video on while I throw the swing arm back on. Right, so I didn't bother filming. I've just wound the swing arm back on. It's now kind of self-supported by the shocks. I can't remember, I didn't actually film tidying them up. They've literally just been stripped back and buzzed with the old Scotch-Brite wheel, just to, I mean, they're still pretty wanky, and they may well find themselves getting replaced, but you know, I'm similar to the pegs. I'm not throwing money at this yet, or any more money into this yet, until I know it fucking works. So I put it back on. It's really hard to show stuff because a lot of this is really fiddly, but then part of me is thinking that the fiddly bits are the bits that anybody that's doing this, particularly with this bike, might want to see. So swing arm on, swing arm off, or off then on. I haven't tightened up yet because it gives some lateral movement. So if you clamp on really hard one side, it just drags the whole thing across. So what I want to do first is, it's pinned. The book doesn't specify this, but it does make sense. Is to then bolt the final drive onto the swing arm, and then do it that way, which seems to make sense because it'll hold it where it needs to be. What was I saying? The boot is a pain in the arse to get on. It's really fiddly. It's just rubber. Had it on, and I had like a nipple at the top, which looks to me to be a drain nipple. So I spun it round, and actually there are recesses in the rubber to fit around the edge of the swing arm there. So that's the correct way up now. So top tip, if you're doing this, there is a right and a wrong way up. I'm now I haven't bothered putting the wheel back on because I am literally spinning these on, spinning it round, put the next one on, next one on, next one on, and then I'll look up torques and torque them up. So I'll get on with that now. The trouble is you're going to see nothing really bar the back of my hand because there's so little working space here that I am struggling to see myself, let alone to be able to show you boys and girls. And I can't see what I'm doing. Bring you around a little bit, but then you're going to be right in front of me and make my view even harder, but we'll give it a go. But, there we go. So, finger tighten them to start with. Now looking at my old video, my video's playing in the background. I just turned it off because of the noise. I wonder if I can copyright strike myself. I don't know. You can do it cross channels. I don't think you can do it on your own. Yeah, who was it that did it? I can't remember. There was a guy that's got 2 channels and managed to copyright strike himself and get one of his channels closed down. Yeah, so I kind of chocked the wheel to undo these last time, and I think that was a little bit fucking stupid, frankly, because what I should just be able to do is stick it in gear, which is precisely what I did to get the bolt on the final drive here in, was put it in gear. Couldn't find a torque setting, so I just went for Toit, but I'm sure there's one for those, so I'm going to jump out. That's all 4 in hand tie. I'll jump out and see if I can find it. Right, that's them done. I can't remember if I said, but no torque settings, probably just as well, because I can't get a torque wrench in there anyway. I know you can do it by weights and suspension, but that's just frankly beyond me. So they are done to the torque of Toit. Wheel back on. Exposing something I've been doing stupidly. I've lost count of how many times I've the brace bar for the drum brake, of how many times I've screwed that on and off. Realised that actually I've been doing it the wrong way, and I've been sort of bolting it in from this side, but there's a recess on the back of that that fits the top of that bolt, which is stupid. It should have a split pin in there as well, which makes complete sense because there's one up the other end. That's gunged up and I can't get one in at the moment, but I will. But we're getting there. We are getting there. Now I need to go and take a break. Take her youngest up to her club. But what I might do is chuck the tank on, chuck it out in the sun, see what it looks like now. It's got a big fuck off engine in it. Right, I'll see you in shortly. I was going to do a quick reveal, but you might have to wait a couple of minutes because I'm not fucking going out in that. Right, so the sun's out. Stopped raining, but unfortunately it's really windy, so this could go Pete Tong on the audio, but let's have a quick look around. I've used the intervening time to stick the brake on, rear brake on. Not quite adjusted yet, but I'll have a play. But looking good, looking really good. I've had to like mock bolt the seat on because it kept blowing away. But yeah, we are getting there, people. Look at that, actually looks like a bike. I had to put the brake on, if for no other reason than it's now heavy again. And I had to stop it from going down the driveway when I don't want it to. But no, we are looking good. My seat foam experiment thingy is loitering in the back, just ignore it. I may use something, I'm not going to put that under seat upholstery, but I may use it to mould. Bloody wind. I may use it to make a mould and then fiberglass over the top, I don't know, but I'm not going to be using that as a seat. I did try it twice. It's great fun. It doesn't really achieve a lot. Yeah, we're getting there, boys and girls. I was going to do more stuff, but I need to sort my life out. So I was going to tag on the exhausts, but I can't find where I've put the exhaust gaskets. They're here somewhere. I was going to put on the oil filter, which is all painted there with a new filter. The spring and the gasket are somewhere, so you know, I'm just at that point now where I've got more stuff on the bike. I need to have a sort out and find all these bits and pieces. I'm also can't find the other end of the bolts for the lower mounting, but they're somewhere. If I could find one, then I've lost one, but I don't lose two of anything. I've put it down somewhere. But yeah, that'll do. We are getting there, people. Look at that. It's looking so much better. Actually looks like a motorbike again with the engine in. So what next? Well, I need to find those bits and I need to tidy up, but you don't want to watch that. I'm really annoyed I've missed that one. I could have taken that off, I think. Never mind. Yeah, what next? I need to find those bits, obviously. Oh, it's got a bit of a chip there. I've got a bit of paint, that's fine. If that's the only wound I've got from mounting an engine, I'm happy. What else was I saying? What's next? Stuff. I need to do the electrics. I really do. I'm not looking forward to it, and I can't really put it off much longer. So that's probably next. One thing I definitely need to do, and I may do that first actually, is the clutch plates, because the clutch basket I couldn't get to the right torque because I couldn't hold it. I've got old plates in there. By plates I mean the friction plates and the metal plates. I've got new ones over the back. I can use the old ones to make some sort of wrench to be able to hold the basket safe, so that I can then torque the bolt properly. I did try bodging something, a little hockey stick thing, and it didn't work. Unfortunately it didn't work because, as many of you guys pointed out, I was actually clamped it onto a fairly fragile piece of the basket, so I'm glad that my tool broke before the basket did. But hey, it's all a big learning experience, isn't it? Getting there, people, getting there. That'll do me. Cheers all, ta-da.